There's no way for a baby to come into this world. Someone left a newborn boy, not even hours old, near a dumpster in Arlington. Fortunately, there is a happy ending to this one. The baby will be okay.
Arlington police investigating after a newborn baby was found in an apartment complex dumpster. They're still searching for the person who abandoned him. That baby is alive, thankfully, and being treated at a hospital.
Well, Brooke, police say it appears this baby was only a few hours old when he was found in that dumpster this morning. They stress under current Texas law, he could have been dropped off at any safe baby site, which is what we have here tonight. They're thanking the woman who found him, saying she did everything right to save his life.
Had this woman not decided to take her trash out, we could be talking about a totally different scenario right now.
Arlington police say just before 8 a.m., a woman heard a baby's cry coming from a dumpster. She immediately called 911. First responders arrived.
It was pretty scary when we first get there. Our EMS personnel had to do CPR on the child. And so this was a really close call.
The baby boy was taken to a nearby hospital. Staff estimate he was only hours old. He now appears to be healthy. Police are trying to find his mother and figure out what happened, interviewing tenants and checking surveillance video from a nearby school. In Texas, leaving a baby in a dumpster can result in an abandoning a child charge or injury to a child.
This boy was found at an apartment complex near 360 and Pioneer Parkway and then immediately taken to the hospital. Now, police are trying to track down this boy's mother. Here's WFAA's Eric Alvarez.
A spokesperson at the Arlington Police Department says the newborn is a beautiful baby boy, and thankfully it appears he is going to pull through, thanks to the doctors here at Medical City Arlington, the first responders who got him here in a hurry, and a neighbor who found the child just in time.
We're very thankful. It's kind of a miracle.
A hopeful new chapter in a story that started in a hopeless place. A dumpster at the Montera Point Apartments, where Saturday morning someone left an innocent child, just hours old, alone in the darkness.
The child was in a container and the container was closed.
The baby boy cried for a parent that didn't come.
It just pulls at your heartstrings.
He was heard by a stranger who did.
There would have been probably no opportunity for survival had she not heard this young boy crying.
Lieutenant Christopher Cook of the Arlington Police Department says the child wasn't out of the woods yet, and first responders had to act quickly.
They do the CPR. They rush the baby to the hospital as quickly as they can, and luckily for us and for everyone, quite frankly, we got a good report.
But that doesn't mean the story is over.
Okay, we know that the child's probably going to be okay. Now we can kind of focus on what happened. How did the child end up here? You know, what's the story? Is the mother okay? I mean, we don't even know.
Police are talking to neighbors and checking surveillance cameras, trying to find the person responsible, who could face a felony charge of abandoning and endangering a child.
There's a criminal investigation that occurs. I mean, we're talking, this is very serious offense to leave a child at a dumpster.
As shocking as it all might seem to some, these tragic cases have happened before. Cook reminds families across Texas there are places you can drop off unwanted newborn babies, no questions asked. Places like Medical City Arlington, where the beautiful baby boy is getting the chance to write his own story.
You know, it's sad that we have to kind of hear stories like this because, you know, the state has been pretty progressive as far as having safe locations where you can drop a child off.
Under Texas's Safe Haven or Baby Moses law, unwanted babies who are unharmed and 60 days old or younger can be left at any fire station or hospital or turned over to emergency medical service providers with no questions asked.
You never know what's going through someone's mind when they abandon a child, but it's a scary ordeal. We're just so thankful that the baby appears to have kind of pulled out of the serious issues.
In Arlington, I'm Eric Alvarez.
And Arlington police say this is the first incident they've had like this in several years. They're asking anyone who may know anything to give them a call. They stress that you can remain anonymous. Reporting live in Dallas tonight, Aaron Jones, CBS 11 News.
There's a law that protects both mother and baby against such fate. In Texas, it's called the Safe Haven or Baby Moses law. Tonight, we take a look to see if it's really working or if more needs to be done.
I don't want this city to ever have to bury a baby again.
Pamela Allen is on a mission to save as many babies as she can. It all started last December when she was at home watching the news and heard about the tragic killing of a baby boy.
Was sitting there watching in horror the fact that this baby's body was found at a waste management facility. Immediately just looked at my husband and I said, that can't be his final resting place.
Allen fought to adopt the baby, allowing her to give him a name and a proper burial. Baby Noel was buried on March 24th this year. But this wasn't the end of Allen's mission. She knew Texas had a safe haven law, also known as the Baby Moses Law, giving a mother the ability to safely surrender her baby, but she didn't know the details, and she figured most other people didn't either. Do you know what the Baby Moses Law is?
No, I do not.
I do not.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
News 4 asked a dozen people in downtown San Antonio. Only 2 were aware of the law. Even then, they didn't know the details.
For this generation, the women of this generation, they were just little girls when this law was brought into action.
Texas was the first state in the country to adopt a law that would allow a mother to safely surrender her baby, no questions asked. A mother has 60 days to hand her baby over at any fire station, hospital, or EMS station. Now, 15 years later, every state has passed a similar law. State Representative Jeannie Morrison sponsored the law during her first legislative session.
The main thing that this law is for is that instance to where there is someone that is so desperate and for whatever reason cannot take care of their child, and we want to make sure we save the child and save the mother.
The number of babies safely surrendered through Baby Moses in Texas has increased over the years. In 2004, 2 babies were surrendered. The highest number of babies surrendered in 1 year was 15, which happened in 2009 and 2013. Still, babies are being dumped, left to die. According to Baby Safe Haven, in August, 10 babies were abandoned across the country. 4 died. There's no statewide program to promote Baby Moses, and that's why Allen is doing all she can to make sure everyone in San Antonio knows about the law. She is going to as many clinics and high schools as she can, passing out pamphlets and posters. Samuel Espervoa is an assistant principal at San Antonio School for Inquiry and Creativity. He believes in Allen's mission.
Knowledge. Knowledge is the first thing that you have to have in order to understand what it is that you're facing.
And that is exactly what Allen is hoping to do. Spread knowledge to as many people as she can in order to save as many lives as she can. If you would like to hear more from our interview with Representative Morrison, along with her response to those critical of the Baby Moses Law, just go to our website, news4sanantonio.com, and click on the Get It button. I will also post it on my Facebook page.
They're seizing this opportunity to continue spreading the word that not only firehouses, but hospitals are both safe places, safe havens where babies can be handed over. They like to say it's a mother's choice, but a baby's chance.
Don't throw away your life.
Long before there were catchy PSAs and colorful brochures,
A Texas law called Baby Moses.
there was just a Bible study group deciding that they would serve God by getting the word out about a law designed to save babies.
Too many times babies' bodies have been found in suitcases, in old dryers.
Pat Summey was there when Baby Moses Dallas began. The volunteer organization has worked for more than a decade to raise awareness and provide signs for hospitals and fire stations that serve as safe havens. They provided this sign at Plano's Fire Station 1. Under the state's safe haven law, unharmed infants younger than 60 days old can be voluntarily surrendered.
We just want people to know that we're available.
Places like the Austin Emergency Center keep a small reminder.
So you can leave them here, there's no questions asked.
Meant to have a big impact on a baby's life. Representative Jeannie Morrison helped pass the Safe Haven law nearly 2 decades ago and knows it's working.
There's a family, friends in Victoria, Texas, that their daughter
adopted one of the baby Moses babies from San Antonio several years ago, and they have 2 adopted children, and I've had the pleasure of watching him grow up, becoming a wonderful young man. He's in his teens now.
The Austin Emergency Center hasn't had any babies dropped off here, but they're ready.
We make sure the infant is medically cleared, that they're safe, healthy, breathing, everything is going well, and then we contact CPS, Child Protective Services.
While Safe Haven outreach isn't backed by state funding,
If you have a state mandated program, it may go away.
Morrison says communities can take the lead in reminding people safe places are here to help. Steffi Lee, KXAN News.
Numbers from the state of Texas show in the last 2 years there were 22 abandoned babies not surrendered under the Safe Haven law.